again, and it's us again. Welcome back. We're here at the Tiff Lightbox talking about what's on this summer. I'm Matthew Price.
I'm Matthew Brown. We're from MAMO.
And we're going to be discussing all the various wonderful films.
So there's always stuff going on here. Right now it's Inside Out. Last week it was hot dogs. Next week it'll be something else. But in addition to that, there's always all the Lightbox programming. And one of the things you mentioned, which is kind of becoming true, is that the new releases are really dominating the schedule.
I have to say, this has worked out, I think, better than I even hoped that it would when I learned they were going to go from a single screen Cinematheque to a 5-screen rotating venture like this.
Yeah.
The beauty of this setup is that they can actually go after really great current films.
Yeah.
And these new releases are actually more exciting than the repertory selections that they're giving us. And those selections are fantastic. Oslo, August 31st, and a film that I saw at the film festival that was amongst my favorites from the film festival, almost made my top 10 for the year, Habima's Papa.
Yeah.
Which is a tremendous Nanni Moretti comedy.
The one that I'm looking forward to that everybody's talking about is Beasts of the Southern Wild. Played Sundance, is playing Cannes right now. Everyone is bananas about this movie. I cannot wait to get my teeth into it.
It sounds to me like Take Shelter or Played as a Fairy Tale. Now, I am not a big fan, but I know there are a lot of people who'd be excited to see the follow-up to Dogtooth.
Yes.
Coming here, Alps.
And then we haven't even mentioned the coolness factor in the new releases catalog, Jaws. It's the total digital remaster.
A brand new 8K, 4K?
Yeah.
Let's call it
the most
very
K.
cool looking, the most Ks you can have.
Yeah.
Print of Jaws, which has basically been done because they're facilitating a Blu-ray release later in the year. Here's the opportunity to take your 8, 10, 12-year-old to see Jaws for the first time properly.
Yeah, that is a big screen summer movie playing here in the summer on a big screen.
The last film that we didn't talk about in new releases is Boy, which is actually from New Zealand and by a native Maori New Zealander, and feeds nicely into the first major program that Tiff is launching for the summer.
Yeah, which is the First People Cinema retrospective, and they're going to be looking at Aboriginal cinema from all around the world, which, you know, all of the sort of the obvious stuff is in there, like Once Were Warriors is in there, and Adenarjuat, the Fast Runner, is in there. An adorable little Canadian film called Smoke Signals is in there. But, you know, movies that you may not have seen that we have seen because of Tiff, stuff like 10 Canoes, which is a movie I really like. It's a movie about a deep, ancient Aboriginal tribe in Australia. Brand New Day, which is just a daffy-ass Australian musical, which could not be more fun and engaging. So there's going to be all kinds of content packed into the retrospective there.
When you say cinema of First Nations people, you immediately say, well, that's a little restrictive because there aren't that many filmmakers. But the program itself seems expansive and really, fascinating.
It's very large, it's very well thought out, and it's one of those things, it's film school in a can, right? Like, if you just want to learn about this entire concept, they're giving you the ability to kind of cram it in 10 weeks of really interesting films from all over the world. Another similar opportunity is they're doing a retrospective of the films of Mia Hansen-Løve. It's a French filmmaker. I've seen none of her work, but based on the descriptions in the program, I'm very interested in the kinds of films she seems to be making. So I'm just going to go see all of them. I'm going to see all 3 or 4 of them in a package at the Lightbox this summer. Yeah, and the other filmmaker that they're focusing on is James Ivory, who made some incredible films through the last about 30 years, Remains of the Day and Howard's End and lots of films. But they're doing something really interesting with this, and I love when Tiff does this, which is that they've paired each of his films with a similar film from usually the same era, but a film that counterpoints. Yeah. And you see them both together, and it's a great way to kind of, I like context, and it's a great way to kind of get instantaneous context for the films that this guy's made. Because it is summer and we got to have a good time. Perhaps to offset the Nicolas Cage retro, which was of course fantastic. We have Beefcake Cinema, Schwarzenegger and Stallone. All summer long, Saturday nights, 10 p.m. You can see classic action muscle men movies. Terminator, Terminator 2, Rocky, First Blood Part 1, Running Man, Conan the freaking Barbarian. Like, if that's not a way to spend your Saturday nights in the summer, I don't know what it is. So we should also probably mention that there's a lot of other smaller stuff happening, but all very important. There's a partnership with Luminato to show some films that involve Philip Glass and other artists. There's a couple of really great conversations, one to do with the First Nations cinema, and that's a conversation with Graham Greene, noted Canadian actor, and then another one, and the one that I will be attending, with Andrea Martin, great
improviser and veteran of SCTV. There's also going to be a very seemingly cool X-Men exhibition based on the costumes of X-Men. Tiff will be running their summer camps as always. They'll be running Sing Along Grease. That will be back. If you haven't done Sing Along Grease, that is a trip, man. That is a trip. Also, Canadian Open Vault will be back with a couple of films, and Tiff will be showing some free films in the park as part of their Tiff in the Park festival. Those films screen for free outdoors at David Picotte Square in Toronto. They're going to be screwball comedies, and very enjoyable at that.
We are living the dream down here at the Tiff Bell Lightbox. We recommend you come on down. You can find us at MAMO.ca. You can find this video at the Substream. We appreciate the opportunity to be here. We'll talk to you in the fall.